Hello everybody and welcome to another Oscar prediction video, and this is the one I've been putting off for far too long because this is the one about Best Documentary Short, which, okay, two major qualifications to go over first of all. A, I don't know a thing about the documentary shorts nominated this year or the category of documentary short in general. And B, neither do you. So I I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. With documentary short, you really just gotta guess. With all the short categories, it's mostly guesswork unless you actually watch all the movies. And so I'm gonna try my best to guess. And I could be wrong, but we will see what happens. So let's just get right into it. Fifth most likely to win is Colette. Okay, so this documentary is a Holocaust documentary about a 90-year-old woman who was in the French Resistance and is just now going back to the first time to visit the concentration camp where her brother was killed. So it's acting as like it's kind of highlighting this museum project of building the conservation stuff together, but also the journey that this woman is going through. And on paper, it does sound like a winner, but I think, from what I understand, it's not a very uplifting short at all. And in the past, they've kind of steered. Holocaust used to be what they went for every time in this category, but now it's kind of steering away from that, and it's become about like, oh, can we find a way to make it a little bit more uplifting or have a little bit of hope? If we're just being sad about the past, then it's not enough to win. So, I mean, it could win. I don't think any of these five nominees are out of the race at all. I think it definitely could win, and this one, what it has going for it is because it's about the Holocaust, but it does feel like the least. It's not one that people are particularly passionate about, and it doesn't have a lot of strong people behind it. So for that reason, I have it number 5. Although I want to reiterate again, anything could happen in this category. Fourth most likely to win is A Concerto is a Conversation. So this documentary is, first of all, it's executive produced by Ava DuVernay, which her name means something, but not everything. Because remember, she did Wrinkle in Time too, as well as Selma and 13th. So the film, it's meant to be about composer Chris Bowers and his grandfather and the grandfather's story in like the Jim Crow South, and it kind of works in its way to be about Disney, but which to me, I don't know, it feels like serious topic meets studio Disney about music and art, but it's also a serious topic. Like having not seen it, I'm not really sure how well this works, and the fact that it has Ava DuVernay behind it means people will vote for it. But I think most of the people that are going to be voting in this category are the ones that have seen most, if not all, of the documentaries, and I don't know how much this one has going for it outside of name recognition, which is not nothing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Third most likely to win is Do Not Split. Now, one of the big things that can affect documentary short in this race is timeliness of the subject matter, and that's where this one could really help. So this one is about the Hong Kong riots, and it's filmed in a way that it's meant to draw comparisons with George Floyd, and also with people being separated in the system, and like again, from it seems to have a lot of strong like people that have seen it are really hyping it up, and people that have seen it do really like it, but it does kind of feel important, but not. It's not the most important, as we'll get to later. And so I definitely feel like some people will be voting for it, and it is timely and it is well done. But again, this is mostly just guesswork. It doesn't strike me as the winner in this category though I do think it has a better chance than the other two I mentioned earlier. Second most likely to win is Hunger Ward. So this one is about a childhood starvation epidemic in Yemen, and they're basically showing these very malnourished children, and it's meant to draw parallels, intentionally or otherwise. It draws parallels with COVID patients at the start of the pandemic, and show like how the hospital are completely overbooked and losing patients, and it's meant to be like, oh my god, this is so bad, this is so serious. From what I understand, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of hope behind it, which could hurt it, but at the same time, it is a serious subject matter and it is important, so that could really help it out. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's got support. It's got support, and it's like harrowing and difficult to watch. But I think there's one documentary that stands a better chance than this, personally. Number one most my prediction, number one most likely to win, is A Love Song for Latasha. So this documentary, as the title would imply, is essentially a love letter from one friend to another. It's a woman recounting her relationship with another girl, while also detailing how that girl was murdered in 1991, and this injustice, racist act, and basically this cruel act of violence against an African-American girl that didn't deserve it, which I think in the current time we're living in is just as timely, if not more timely than ever, and it really is infuriating that these kind of stories continue to be relevant and these kind of things continue to happen. But the time period we're in right now, that's when Oscar voting is happening, and that's where we're seeing these terrible, terrible headlines about these incredibly unjust murders and the people that get away with it time after time again. And from what I understand, if you actually sit down and watch all the shorts, it's not the best in terms of quality or overall storytelling, but it's the most immediate one. It's the most... I say that having not seen them. I'm saying that based on one person's opinion of this article that I'm reading. So please do forgive me. I think subjectivity, quality of a short film is all subjective, and I think when you take away subjectivity, all you have is just how important is the short film. And this feels like a really important one. I feel people are like, this is an important issue, and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to vote for the short film in this category. And I don't want to get into like how important or possibly unimportant such an act would be in actually making any type of real progress towards solving the problem, but at least Oscar voters would get to feel important. So this is a very serious issue that something needs to be done about, but in the meantime, we can vote for this short film. That seems to be the idea that I've got going forward, and it's number one on Gold Derby. I think that for documentary short, timeliness is the main thing that they seem to look for, and I guess that it contrasts the cruel thing that happened with also this view of optimism and hope in terms of what a light this girl was, and how incredible she was, and how like this more we need to remember like to celebrate the life rather than focus on the death, even though the death is very important. And so I don't know, it really feels like this is the type of thing that Academy voters will vote for. And I don't want to say too much else. I don't want to give the wrong impression. I just, in terms of the nominees, in terms of what's important, what subject matters will resonate with voters, this is it. This is definitely it. And so that is my prediction. Thank you very much for watching this, and tune in next time where I will be taking a look at the category of Best Actor. So see you then.